Welcome to Wednesday. It is the 15th day of May, 2024. This Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Wyoming State Parks. May is here. Now is the perfect time to start making plans for those summer adventures. What better place to spend time outdoors than a Wyoming State Park or historic site? Visit wyoparks.org for more information. Well, cooler weather will settle into the region today as a disorganized area of low pressure is going to be overhead today. This is the same system that was up over northern Wyoming and southern Montana yesterday. Just kind of slowly moving south and eastward across the region, but kind of in pieces, disorganized. So the shower and thunderstorm activity today is going to be disorganized, spotty, but it will be around. Now, once we get beyond today, it is going to be warmer Thursday through the weekend. Pretty warm temperatures, pretty mild conditions are coming our way. But there's one little hitch in the giddy up, and that's the fact that there's going to be a little bit of a wave moving very quickly across Montana and northern Wyoming Friday. That'll produce showers and thunderstorms, but I'm afraid to say Friday's a windy day. If you'll be doing anything Friday sensitive to wind, well, it's going to be a windy day, I'm afraid to say. Pretty strong and gusty west winds. Nothing crazy strong, but a nuisance wind Friday. And then I think at times this weekend it's going to be kind of breezy as well. This is because the jet stream is still pretty strong across the Pacific Northwest and Northern Rockies. And these winds, at least through Sunday, will be perpendicular or nearly perpendicular to the Continental Divide. So that makes it windy in the wind gaps. That makes it windy on the plains. At least with the wind, it is going to be pretty mild. The shower and thunderstorm activity between Thursday and Sunday isn't zero, but we don't expect a lot. We really don't expect too many showers and thunderstorms around Tuesday through Sunday. I think Sunday is a day where there's going to be an uptick in shower and thunderstorm activity. That's because of what will be a slow-moving trough that starts to move in late this weekend and kind of parks itself over the Great Basin next week. And I think may hang around all the way into at least the start of Memorial Day weekend. And what that will do, the placement of the trough, will dictate kind of how next week goes and maybe Memorial Day weekend as well. Another great shot from Aurora Borealis that came in Friday night. Thanks, Court, for sending that on in. The photos continue to stream in, and boy, what a treat Friday night was last week. Now, as we take a look at the satellite imagery this morning, you can see the disorganization of the upper level trough coming on through. There's going to be down south here today some severe weather down here as this trough comes on in. So in the south central U.S., severe weather today. You can see some little rotation in the clouds right here over central Wyoming. So this is the system that was up here yesterday. Hasn't moved very quickly, but it's going to be steady in its movement. So across eastern Wyoming, parts of eastern Colorado, the western high plains, spotty showers and thunderstorms today. Nothing to write home about, but some of you, not all of you, will get a little damp today, along with some temperatures that'll be a bit on the cool side. You can see the clear skies here along the west coast and into the Great Basin areas, and that's going to be producing some nice fair weather off to the west. And some of that is what's going to come in beginning on Thursday and into Friday. So there's the upper level low. There's the big high pressure ridge off the coast of California. And what we're going to basically see is this same pattern, these strong jet stream winds coming across the top of the ridge into the Pacific Northwest and Southwest Canada. This is the shower and thunderstorm activity through tomorrow. So you can see where there's going to be some severe weather down here. Showers and thunderstorms not organized, spotty along the Front Range and out onto the plains. We can continue to have a little bit of a downsloping dry hole right here where the showers are just not able to maintain themselves coming in from the west and northwest. As we head into Friday, this is where we're going to have the wind problem. So you can see the black lines packed tightly together here, strong jet stream winds coming across the North Pacific and then perpendicular to the divide. So we're going to see these strong upper level winds make it windy across Wyoming, parts of Utah, parts of Colorado, and into the high plains. Now, the downsloping will make it a pretty mild situation with temperatures. But Friday, here are the wind gusts. So these are the wind gusts that we're going to see Friday into Saturday morning. So across Montana, Wyoming, even into eastern Idaho, parts of northern and northwest Colorado, pretty windy as that system scoots on through. So be ready for that on Friday. As we get into the weekend, kind of a reloading. Strong jet stream winds across the North Pacific into the Pacific Northwest. But this area of troughiness right here is going to start to slide a little bit more to the south and southeast into the Pacific Northwest late Sunday into Monday, the Northern Rockies. And then as it moves further south, by Tuesday, it settles into eastern Oregon and Idaho. We still are maintaining that eastern Pacific ridge. So what will happen is, generally speaking, low pressure is going to set up in the west next week and kind of just hang around for a little bit. What you get in this pattern is you get southwest winds aloft. Now, this is going to keep temperatures pretty mild along and east of the divide for most of next week, but little disturbances coming around the low from the southwest to the northeast will trigger the occasional threat for shower and thunderstorm activity, especially up here, at least early in the week. Then as the system moves slowly, in fact, it really isn't really moving much, we're going to see this area of low pressure just hang around. So this is by late next week, and it's likely going to be in some form or fashion around at least into Friday and probably the start of the Memorial Day weekend. What that will do is feed that threat for shower and thunderstorm activity off and on across the west. Now, if we look at the 10-day precipitation forecast, there's going to be a persistent area where these showers and thunderstorms are going to be wanting to be most common, and that's going to be up here. So this area, which has been the area that's been getting wet, is going to be getting more wetness. We're hoping that this little tail right here gets into parts of western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming that really need the rain. It's been very dry for May so far, especially in this area right here. Just has not been a wet May at all. In fact, precipitation has been far below average for this area right here because of the way the storms have been tracking. So there might be mid to late next week and into next weekend, maybe some better rain chances there. We'll see. But certainly northern Wyoming, central Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska here, the upper Midwest, parts of Montana, parts of south central areas of Canada, that low sitting back here will feed moisture, mild air, and the occasional threat for showers and thunderstorms. Now, depending on where this trough of low pressure ends up being and how slow it moves out and whether or not it hangs around through next weekend will be a big factor in how the 3-day weekend's going to go weather-wise. A little bit too early to be talking about that just yet. Have yourself a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.